Right, welcome back to Lac Solace. This is my first trip back since I did the little introduction video 2 weeks ago, or nearly 2 weeks ago, where I stumbled on a couple of big fish and got lucky. Today I've got down, very different conditions, very high pressure. To be honest, I haven't seen anything. I wasn't feeling overly confident. It just seemed a bit quiet. Put 3 rods out. I found them around. I'm in the in what will be known as the old jetty swim, which is in the middle of the lake on the far bank, one of the smaller swims that I mentioned in the video. About 20 minutes ago I recast the chod on the left hand rod, pushed it a little bit further into the middle. It was a bit more down to my left. No reason that I'd seen to do it, I just felt it was worth a go. 20 minutes later it's absolutely screamed off. Massive battle. And funnily enough, I've landed one of the fish that I put on the Facebook page, if you follow that, saying I wonder where this one is. Big paw print on its side, which I'll show you in a minute. But for this video I wanted to quickly look at sort of fish care and the process that I personally use, and after a bit of experience it works best for me. It's the rules here and at Lac Solace, and it's generally good practice. So the fish has gone in the net eventually. Massive fight, as I say. So what I've done is, first things first, I've secured the net and I've bit the line above the leadless leader that I'm using, so there's no tension on the fish. I've checked in the mesh to make sure the rig itself or the lead components etc aren't stuck in the mesh, so he can sit where he wants to sit. Everything fine. Secured the net and had a breather. Walked back from the water, redid my net. You never know, there's 2 more rods in play. Need to make sure that they're, that I'm safe and ready for that next situation if that was to happen. Wanted to wet the mat, get the retainer ready, zero the scales, get the fish care, and set the camera up on the tripod. It doesn't matter whether you're experienced or not, there's always an adrenaline rush when you have a decent fish. And it's in your best interest and the fish to just settle down, let the fish settle down, let him get his gas back, especially when they've been fighting like they do in here, and get yourself organised. So as I say, the mat's wet and actually in the water. I'm on my own, so I'm going to do some footage of it in the water. Then if it does kick off, I haven't got to worry. If it was a really big fish like the ones I had the other day, even more important, if the fish does do a Houdini on you, does start kicking, worst case scenario is you don't get a photo. Not the end of the world, but if you dropped it or it skidded down the bank or whatever because you're on your own and you're struggling to deal with it, then it doesn't make any sense to do that. I've got the scales ready, the fish care, or adhesive and the Steri 7, the combination that we use here and that I rate very highly, is down at the water's edge just in case. I don't think there's a mark on it, but I'll do the hook hold anyway. As I say, the mat's wet, the fish is now in the retainer, the rods are all out the way, the hook's out the way and the rig etc, and I'm totally clear now to get in the water. I've got my waders on, get in the water, deal with the fish as best as I can, try and get some shots, and then let him go back as swiftly. At the moment the fish hasn't left the water. I landed it 10 minutes ago. The fish hasn't left the water, and apart from coming up from the retainer onto the mat, which is still in the water, it won't come onto the bank whatsoever. It just makes sense, especially with lively fish. So let's now get him out as best we can. I've got a feeling he might do a Houdini on me, which is why I've mentioned it, and have a look. It's actually the one with the big paw print, as I say, that I put up on the Facebook page a few days ago. So really glad to see him. He's definitely much bigger than he was when we put him in. Right, I've weighed him up, 38 pounds, so very, very happy with that. Can't remember exactly what he was, but I think he was 32, 33 when he went in. So, as always, check those fins, both sides. be interesting, this, but we'll do our best. As I said in the vid earlier on, if he does kick off, at least he's kicking off into the lake. First things first, I like to get the fish care products on him first to dry. So he's lifted a little scale there. Lifted a little scale there, so give him a decent spray. And then before he goes back in, I'll put the oil adhesive on him. Remember, none of these fish care products are designed to go in their gills. So always protect their gills, especially with things like propolis. That can literally kill them. So, loads of little starburst scales on it. So I've got the mat on my knee. Yeah, lovely shape. Really cracking fish that. You can feel when they're tensing up. Just roll them onto your back. They'll either keep going, which means you get them onto the mat, or you can hoik them back up from halfway position. But really chuffed with that. Let's turn him around to make sure his pecs are flat. And instead of messing around with the fish itself, trying to turn it, just turn the retainer. Much easier, much safer. So this is the side that I then sort of highlighted on the Facebook page. Not a mark on him. So again, mat on the knee. Yeah, cracking fish. Be 40 pound in no time. Absolutely cracking condition, not a mark on it. So now what I like to do, slide him off the mat, back into the water. He's ready to go now, but better to be safe than sorry. So all I do is just give him another 5 minutes in there. Clear everything out the way again. These Sabre retainers I've got that we supply here, I've got the thread on them. So I've got a storm pole out here which I'll move in a minute. So I'm just going to give him 5 minutes in there, get the mat and everything out of the way, and then we'll let him go super strong.